Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Wednesday night edition of Inside the Headset, sponsored by John Jones. John Jones Real Estate. Nobody sells homes like John. Going to roll down to Chattanooga. Going to talk to a real happy, successful coach. He's currently 8-0 this season, 508 wins lifetime. He is in the Hall of Fame nationally. He is the head coach of the Boyd Buchanan Buccaneers. We bring live and on the air the head coach, Gary Rankin. How you doing tonight, Coach?
I'm doing good, Stuart. Appreciate you having me on.
Appreciate you getting on as always. Well, we were in our battle last Friday night and looked up, and you were doing really well, and you took on Christian Academy in Knoxville. Was able to come away with a win, 32-7.
We played pretty well. I thought they were much improved. They've done a real good job with their coaching staff and replacing some guys. I think they got a really good group of guys that are coaching that's doing a good job with their kids. And, the game really never was in doubt, I don't think, and we just sort of methodically did what we had to do and came out with a win.
And right now, that this is important. I mean, if you do hit one of these games where maybe that, where you are in your program and your season with this bunch and the other squad isn't quite at that point, the main thing is, Coach, is you got to get in your reps and you got to stay healthy.
Yeah, and if you're good, you'll take care of business. I don't believe in that old saying, you play down to your competition. I think that's an excuse sometimes. I think if that happens, it usually happens in your week of practice. But we prepare the same each week for whoever we're playing. So, I'll never buy into that. If we play somebody I think we're supposed to win, I expect us to go out there and play well, be dominant, get the victory, and get on out and go to the next one.
Yeah, and there was a mention. I was listening to some coaches chat, and somebody says, well, maybe that somebody says that so and so was running the score up. You don't tell your twos and threes not to score. I mean, you don't tell them not to score. When you put those kids in, you expect them to work just as hard as the ones, don't you?
Yeah, you do. And, there seems like there is a lot of high-scoring games now, and I think we need to look at another remedy maybe to keep that from happening. I know we have a running clock in the second half, but when you look up and somebody scores 68 or 70 or 75 points, it's pretty degrading to the other kids on the other team. That's the way I look at it. I never want to embarrass any kids on another squad. And, sometimes it's a coaching thing against each other. There has been a couple of coaches I would have tried to embarrass before, but not many. But I just think when you do that, you try to pile it on, you're hurting kids on the other side. So, we're pretty cognizant of if we think the game's getting out of hand to do things to try to keep from running up the score.
Well, you're sitting in a really good position. I do believe I saw where you are region champions. Is that correct? And congratulations if so.
We are 3 years in a row. First time it's ever happened in the history of this school. 3 years in a row, undefeated seasons. That's the first time. It never happened 1 year till here lately. So we've done some things in the last 3 years that I'm really proud of. I think we're 35 or 6-2 maybe in the last 3 years, and both of those losses were CPA, which they beat everybody during that stretch. So, we're certainly pretty pleased with what we've done so far and where our program is.
I mean, you've been doing this a long time, Coach. I mean, and you're sitting in where you are right now, and got Webb lined up, and that's an away game, and going to play that on Thursday night. But as you get ready to go into the second half of the season, just let the fans just share with us a little bit. What's your philosophy as you head into this second part?
Well, you want to try to stay fresh, stay healthy, and make sure you're playing pretty good football at this time of year. Realistically, in our league, there's probably 4, maybe 5 teams that could possibly win the state championship in our division. I don't think there's a doubt that BGA and Franklin Road out of Nashville and Luzanne out of Memphis are 3 of the better teams in our league right now. So I know who they are. I know what to expect when we go down the road. But there's some awful good coaches coaching some of those teams, and some teams with some really, really good athletes. So there's a lot of work cut out, and see what happens the next 3 or 4 weeks.
And we don't want to overlook Webb, but Webb is struggling a little bit. But at the same time, you're still, like I said, you're going to have to go out. You're going to have to let your starters get their snaps and whatnot. But you'll also, those 2s and 3s will get to see some time as long as the ones do what they're supposed to do.
They struggled a little bit, and first time they didn't make the playoffs probably in 30 years. And, I think the thing you got to think about tomorrow night is a lot of those kids are playing the last football game of their lives. And I've seen kids really lay it out on the line with a little extra when they know that's the last time they'll put on those shoulder pads and that helmet. So, I expect us to for them to get after us and give us a good battle. They've certainly got one of the better players in the state playing for them. He could play for Oakland, Baylor, Alcoa, anybody else you mentioned. He's a tremendous player, can almost take a game over on his own on offense. So they have some weapons that can make it difficult on you. We just got to do a good job of containing the ones they got and see if we can get off to a good start and maybe get them down a little bit.
Well, and you mentioned that, I've got a game tomorrow night, and I'm sure you're familiar with it. I'm doing the Blackman-Rockvale game, and, Rockvale, I mean, they got to win this. I mean, either they win or go home. So, I mean,
Yeah, Counts has done a good job. I know James known him for a long time. I understood they had Riverdale on the ropes the other night, so kudos to him. Good for him to being able to get in there and hang like that. But James is an excellent football coach. I know probably a lot of maybe Middle Tennessee guys didn't know that exactly when he came over there, but he's a really, really good football coach, really, really good person. And I knew when Rockville hired him, he was going to make some things happen there.
Man, he has, and I think you hit it right on the, hit the nail right on the head. I mean, he's been good for Rutherford County. He competes well. He puts a great team out there, and so I mean, it's made it a little bit more feisty on this end of the county. I'll definitely admit it.
Right. James is just a good man. When you're a good man, good things happen to you.
Well, Coach, I don't want to keep you anymore, but most of all, this is our last show. I'm hanging it up, but I can't thank you enough for all the nights that you stepped in. You were available and made yourself available to us on Inside the Headset. We had a lot of fun, and nobody's enjoyed watching your teams and watching you coach kids, and I loved what you've done, and going to miss you.
Appreciate you, Stork. You did a lot for high school football, and all the guys still out there that's promoting their sport and doing things for our sport. I have a high amount of respect for them, and I have a high amount of respect for you. I really appreciate it.
Coach, good luck, and go Bucks, and go get a ring.
Thank you, brother.
See you, bye.